Good evening, one and all. I'm Anjali from Lexis and Company, and we will continue the video series. Which the last part we did was section 50 of chapter 5 of CRPC, that is arrest of persons. So now we'll move on to section 51. Section 51 talks about search of arrested person. Okay, so it says whenever a person is arrested by a police officer under a warrant which does not provide for taking of bail, or under a warrant which provides for taking of bail, but the person arrested cannot furnish bail, and whenever a person is arrested without warrant or by a private person under a warrant and cannot legally be admitted to bail or is unable to furnish bail, the officer making the arrest, or when the arrest is made by a private person, the police officer to whom he makes over the arrested person may search the person and place in safe custody all articles other than necessary wearing apparel found upon him, and where any article is seized from the arrested person, a receipt showing the articles taken in possession by the police officer shall be given to such person. Okay, so the subsection 2 of 51 talks about whenever it is necessary to cause search of on a female accused. Okay, so that search shall be made by another female officer with strict regard to decency. Okay, then we'll move on to section 52. Section 52 talks about the power to seize offensive weapons. Okay, so the officer or any other person making arrest under this code may take from the person arrested any offensive weapons which he has about his person, and shall deliver all the weapons to be taken to the court or officer before whom he presents that person. Okay, so such weapon shall be confiscated and presented to the officer to whom that person is being produced. Then section 53 onwards, we talk about the examination of the accused. Okay, so section 53 specifically deals with examination of accused by medical practitioner at the request of police officer. Okay, when a person is arrested on a charge of committing an offense of such nature and or alleged to have been committed under such circumstances that there are reasonable grounds to believe that if the person is um, medically examined, there some kind of evidence will be afforded because of that. Okay, so it shall be lawful for a registered medical practitioner acting at the request of the police officer not below the rank of sub inspector, this is very important, and for any person acting in good faith in his aid and under his direction to make such an examination of the person arrested as is reasonably necessary in order to ascertain facts which may afford such evidence, and to use such force as is reasonably necessary for that purpose. So, subsection 2 talks about whenever the person is a female, who has to be examined under this section, the examination shall be made only by another female, by a female medical practitioner or under the supervision of a female medical practitioner. This section also defines what the meaning of examination is and who will come under the definition of a registered medical practitioner. So, further, 53A talks about specifically the people who are accused of committing rape. Okay, so the examination of a person accused of rape by medical practitioner. So here, the person, similarly like in the above section, the person who has been accused of rape, he shall be medically examined by a registered medical practitioner, and if there is no registered medical practitioner available, so uh, within the radius of 16 kilometers from the place where the offense has taken place. So, any medical practitioner, a registered medical practitioner from there can also examine when a police inspector, not below the rank of sub inspector, will under his directions basically. Okay, and subsection 2 says the registered medical practitioner conducting such examination shall without delay examine such person and prepare a report of his examination giving the following particulars. Okay, so what are the particulars that should be given in that report? First, the name and the address of the accused. and the person by whom he was bought in. Second, the age of the accused. Third, marks of injury, if any, on the accused. Fourth, the description of the material taken from the accused for DNA profiling. Fifth, other material particulars in reasonable detail. Okay. The report shall state precisely the reasons and the conclusions which the medical practitioner arrives at, and the exact time when the report was made, commenced, and completed shall be noted. Okay, and this report, which has been made under this section, shall be forwarded to the investigation officer, who will forward it uh, to the magistrate. Okay. Uh, there is a list of documents under section 173, which we'll deal with later. So, in as a part of that document, this report will go. Okay. So now we'll move on to section 54. Section 54 talks about examination of arrested person by medical officer. Okay. So when any person is arrested, he shall be examined by a medical officer in the service of central or state governments, and in case the medical officer is not available, by any registered medical practitioner soon after his arrest is made. So why does this happen? Basically, this happens because when a person is arrested, you must have heard about police brutality and uh, the torture a person goes through in the prison. Okay, so to avoid that scenario, this as soon as a person is arrested, then he is medically examined, so that if there is any discrepancy afterwards, so uh, the court can know about it. Okay, so 54A talks about the identification of person arrested. So, where a person is arrested on a charge of committing an offense and his identification by any other person or persons is considered necessary for the purpose of investigation of such offense, the court having jurisdiction may, on the request of the officer in charge of police station, direct the person so arrested to subject himself to identification by any person or persons in such manner as the court may deem fit. So you must have heard about this. This is called test identification parade, where the accused, they stand in a line, and some person identifies them. Okay, so there is a proviso to this section, provided that if the person identifying the person arrested is mentally or physically disabled, such process of identification shall take place under the supervision of a judicial magistrate, who shall take appropriate steps to ensure that such person identifies the person arrested using methods that person is comfortable with. And secondly, provided further that if the person identifying the person is mentally or physically disabled, this identification process should be videographed. So I hope you learned something from this lecture, and thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.